First of all, I want to say a massive congratulations to the Heat and the Panthers. I'm massive. I love all sports in Florida. I support all the teams. I think a couple of nights ago I watched probably one of the best individual sports performances I've ever seen with Jimmy Butler. And was it 56 points? I got home last night and saw obviously the last couple of minutes of the game, and it was just sensational watching. So congratulations to the Heat, congratulations to the Panthers. I think they came through their first playoff game last night, so it was a good night for every team that played. We had a tough game. I think in those types of situations, my experience always it tells me that you've just got to be in the. Somebody pulled me on it today. The hat, we call it in England the hat, in the draw for the next round, and you've got to do it by any which way it performed. We had to go to penalties. We had to slug it out. We had to suffer, and the players I think for the first time this season showed me one of the biggest qualities that they had last season. Well, that was that never say die attitude and spirit. And that in a team is a great quality. So it was a win. We needed it, and we're not celebrating. We know we've got a long way to go. We know we've got a big game on Saturday against one of the best teams. Got a lot of respect for Columbus. Away from home again, third game in the week, and we go there with real determination.
That was a little bit sour.
Well, I think. We had, I think there was 868 passes in the game, 86% possession. So I think we totally controlled and dominated the game. I said after the game last night, I felt there was only one team that was probably trying to win the game. And you get that in these types of cup competitions against a team from the lower division. The massive positive for me is that you look at from the minute we left our training facility, our bus broke down. Just outside here, our bus broke down. So then we all had to get into cars. So there's a 15-car convoy going to FIU, which is a real difficult place to get to, I must say. So you think about, then you start thinking, here we go again, and you think about the victim mentality, the negativity. But I never felt for 1 minute that we had that last night. And then, we make a mistake in the first 3 minutes of the game. And then obviously DeAndre scores an own goal. Motta hits the post. We're controlling the game, and it's not, you can get into that mindset of, it's just not going our way. But I never felt we did that last night. I always felt we had belief. I had no doubt. I've got to say, I had no doubt we were going to win the game from the minute I woke up in the morning. And the players had that same feeling too. And I've said along this stretch, which has been tough, is that we've never got to up, we've never got too down. But I also thought that it will turn. The tide will turn. It always does. It always does, and you just hope last night was the game that the tide turned. Luck went our way with winning a penalty shootout, and on Saturday we can take that confidence into the game. They're a group that needed that feeling last night. I don't care whether you're at the top of the game or you're playing at the lower levels. Winning breeds confidence, and I've experienced top level football, and the same feelings you have when you lose games at the top level is the same feelings you have as you lose at any level. You get worried, you get frustrated, you lose confidence, you lose belief, and this team stuck at it last night and got the win that we definitely deserved.
When was the last?
Yeah, I mean it took me back to sort of like my under-12, under-13s day, when you carpool to the game and you're all in. I mean, look, it was not a problem, but it's more about that feeling when you get on a bus and then the bus just breaks down 2 minutes outside of the facility and you think, oh shit, what's going on? So, look, it was probably good. We got home quicker anyway at the end of the game. We got home quicker.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, I think we rested 3 or 4 guys last night, plus those that didn't start the game. So there's probably 8-9 players that are well rested that didn't play the 120 minutes. But like I say, we've been training them. We've been training them for these moments. I spoke to the whole staff a couple of days ago about the mentality that we need to have at this football club, and fatigue doesn't come into it in the 3-game week. We've got another 3-game week coming up in a couple of weeks' time. I mean, you look at those Heat players; they're playing every other night. playing 86, 87 games a season plus playoff games, and you know, you think about a footballer from a scientific point of view. You know, you think second day is the game you get stiff. Second game, Miami Heat players are going out there and playing again. So it's a mentality. You know, if you train your mind to be tough and to be durable, then you will be durable. If you tell yourself you're going to be tired all the time, you're going to be tired. And what we've done this season, we've trained them hard. We've trained them for these moments that when you get to April, May, and we've got games every 2 or 3 days, that we want 17, 18 players that can play in all 3 games. And I think that was a big part of what we wanted to do last night. No, but I think the younger players aren't the problem. The younger players, they're fearless. They've not been burnt, so they play with a different mentality. It's the experienced players really that have been through it. They've been through it and are probably a little bit more cynical in thinking, well, will it turn? You know, but we've got some outstanding young players. You know, there was 3 on the pitch last night that did themselves a world of good. I didn't mention Kramashi after the game last night, but he's going to be a fantastic player for this football club, and they're fearless, and they're going to play a big part. I've spoke to them this morning about the difference between the young players last year and this year. Is that the young players last year were probably just bit part players. They were just probably players that were going to get maybe minutes here or there. This year, our younger players are going to get major minutes. Why? Because they're good enough, and that they're now in a situation where they have to deliver. And I've got every belief that these players on Saturday, the younger players that will play on Saturday, will deliver. We want to win every competition. We want to win every competition. I think we knew last night was going to be a hell of a tough game. One, because I think Miami FC are a brilliantly coached side by Anthony. They've got good experienced players. We've talked about the surface. You know, the expectation going into the game was a banana skin, and it was always going to be a tough game. It was never going to be straightforward. They don't give away goals, and you know, I think it was a game where we just had to win the game. You know, cup competitions, performances really are separate to the result. We're in the hat for the next round. The draw's at 2 o'clock today. It's a competition that gets you to the Champions League quicker than any other competition that we're in, and we want to be in that Champions League. And we're going to approach the competition like any other that we want to win. The expectation at this football club is we've got to win. That's why we put that pressure and expectation on ourselves, because you know, we're a club that needs to deliver. Well, I've got to say, I think he's a great guy, and he's a really good coach, and what he's got there, he's got some outstanding talented players. You think about their DP players, Zilarayan and Cucho, they deliver. Because that's what DPs have to do. They have to deliver, and they deliver. So it's going to be a brilliant test for us. I think the stadium is one of the best in the MLS. It's compact, it's tight. The pitch is always nice. It's always a brilliant game against Wilfried's sides. He goes for it. We'll go for it. But I think we've got to concentrate on ourselves. I think we've had a good week so far, even though the result against Houston wasn't what we expected. Our performance levels were really good. We've just got to produce another good performance on Saturday.